All right, so welcome back to Let's Talk Television, episode 2. Here with the show. So of course, talking about some of the biggest news from this week in television once again in this episode, and to go along with 2018 and kind of the year-end reviews that are going around and all that, I've decided to kind of start off at least the first two episodes here of Let's Talk Television weekly series here, breaking down the worst TV shows of 2018 last week, and I decided this week let's reminisce on the good ones. Right, and so I'm going to be doing the best TV shows of 2018. So that'll be the spotlight for today's episode. And then quite a bit of news. A couple things that I didn't I'm not going to be able to get to, but I know there's still kind of big news pieces. Was Midnight Texas was canceled, and what was another one? A couple other ones were out there. Who is America was canceled by Showtime, and The Last Kingdom on Netflix was renewed. So a couple of notable news topics there. And if you want to talk a little bit more about those, for sure. Please do that in the comments or live chat if you're watching live. But anyways, so those things I'm not going to be able to get to, but still some really really big stuff coming through this week for news. Compared to last week, though, not as much, right? And that's just how this show is going to go, right? It all depends on what the news kind of is this week. And that's kind of the direction of the episodes. So yeah. Anyways, so I hope you guys will follow along, share your thoughts on any or all of the news in today's episode, and especially when I'm going to be talking first off about the best TV shows 2018. I would love to hear your list. If you want to put together a top 3, or if you have already put together a list like that, share it with me. Love to hear what you guys think. I'm going to be sharing some popular shows. Popular picks for the best shows 2018, so for sure comment on those if you've seen them, and of course my list, and let me know if you agree with me or disagree. That would be great as well. So anyways, guys, love to hear your thoughts on this one. I appreciate those of you tuning in live now, and those of you tuning in afterwards. If you tune in afterwards, you can leave a comment or question, whatever, and I will definitely get to it next episode, and I'll spend some time. If you have a question like that about some of this news or other stuff, definitely get to that. And if you want to comment in the live chat as we go, I'll definitely get to those and answer those for sure too, and discuss. So anyways, guys, yeah, thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk Television. So I believe we have one more episode, or maybe even two more episodes, I think. Let me think here. Yeah, I think 2 more episodes yet after this one for 2018 of Let's Talk Television, and then we'll be 4 episodes, and then we'll go into the new year, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, so that's why I've kind of taken it upon myself here to put together a couple lists here for both the worst and best TV shows of the year, since we're coming into the end of the year, right? And all these places are, putting together all these lists and all that, right? And I thought I would do. So, anyways, stream is looking is good here, and the live episode is going well here. Okay, so let's get to the list here. So the best TV shows of 2018, and you know what? I thought it was a pretty good year. Overall. Looking back at the year, I thought it was pretty good. I thought a lot of the shows that I actually really enjoyed came in the back half of this year, actually, which is, most of the time makes sense, right? Because the fall is a huge season for television. Usually you see all the bigger shows come back, and in the summer too, in the end of the summer. And the winter and spring never usually, at least in my experience, usually bring upon, big shows that do really, really well. It's usually always summer, fall, and kind of into the end of the year then. Kind of similar to movies. I mean, the Oscar movies all come out in December, kind of towards the end of the year. But barring, the 1 or 2 that come out earlier in the year. And that's what I feel this year was for sure for me, at least for shows, because, you know, looking halfway through this year, I didn't think it was that great. But then we got a bunch of really, really great shows that I enjoyed in the end of the year, and I'm pretty sure that you guys enjoyed a lot of the ones too. So anyway, so I thought I would go over a few outlets here. I have their picks, and so they put together top 10, top 20 lists, and so I grabbed the top three from each of these outlets, and then I'll share those. I'm not going to put mine into a list. I didn't do that for the worst TV shows either. I just kind of list them in no particular order. Yeah, just a list is really, really difficult to put together. And it might change, you know, like if I watch them over again and all that stuff. So I'm just going to list my top shows in no particular order, and that's the way it's going to be. But again, I'd love to hear your guys. And if you do have an order like that, then definitely let me know for sure. But I think overall, I think one of these shows would be number one, and then all the others are kind of, you know, up in the air. They kind of will fall into place for me. But anyways, so let's get to some of the popular picks chosen by various outlets here. So first off, we get Vanity Fair, and they put together a top 10 list, I believe, top 10 TV shows 2018, and they got, I think it was like 2 or 3 critics on there, and put this list together themselves. So their top 3 were Pose on FX, Killing Eve, and The Good Place. So those were Vanity Fair's top 3 picks. And yeah, I mean, pretty popular picks, right? Pose, you know what, at the time, it didn't get a lot of buzz, I feel. And then as it went on, as the season runtime went on, it got a lot more buzz, a lot more attention, and it was actually pretty impressive. And now people are talking about it being the best TV show of 2018, so that's definitely one to watch for sure. Killing Eve, tons of attention for that one. Sandra Oh, great job. She got nominated at the Emmys, you know, for lead actress. So yeah, she is definitely great, and Killing Eve is great. And The Good Place, an interesting pick. It's ultimately a comedy, you know, on NBC, and with Kristen Bell in it. So yeah, interesting picks there by Vanity Fair. So now we get to Vulture, and they put together again another top 10 list, and their top 3 include The Americans, Better Call Saul, and Atlanta. And I believe this was the order. I believe Americans was 3, Better Call Saul was 2, Better Call Saul was maybe 3, and Atlanta was number 1. And interesting picks here. So, I mean, 3 totally different picks than Vanity Fair. So the Americans, of course, up there. Final season here with, Kerry Russell, of course. And is it Rise Hoskins? I think. Or, no, I feel like that's wrong. Anyways. The star in Americans, really great. The cast for The Americans is awesome, and the final season this year, probably the best season of the show, and so yeah, a ton of people on that one. Better Call Saul, very clear, and you will see that one in my list. I totally agree with that. And Atlanta just continues to get the attention that it deserves, with Donald Glover's brilliance, you know, put on stage there with Atlanta. So really great there by Vulture. I think those 3 picks definitely respectable there. Now Hollywood Reporter, and so they put together a little bit of a list here. I believe it was the top 20, and it was various critics kind of contributed to this list. And so they have Succession, Atlanta, again, and America to Me. So they actually ranked America to Me number 1 for the best TV show of 2018, which is interesting because I've heard about it a couple times, but they were the only outlet to have America to Me, even in their top 5. So it seems as though the critics there really did enjoy it, and I'm sure a lot of people did. It's just, you know, a lot of other critics didn't quite give it the praise of the best TV show of the year. Atlanta, again, like I said, in Succession, you will see that in my list. Let me tell you, that is amazing. But anyways, I'll get to that in just a second. So then lastly, we have TV Line, and they put together a top 10 list. I believe 2 critics contributed to this one. And so they have The Americans once again, Killing Eve once again, but also their number, I believe this was their number 3 of the year, was The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix. So that's an interesting pick too. Ton of people have been talking about how good that show is. You know, in terms of Emmys, I don't think it's going to get any recognition. I could be totally wrong there, but, you know, those type of shows just don't really do that well at an Emmys or, you know, that type of award show. But the critics at TV Line really did enjoy it, and so they put that number 3, I believe. But again, The Americans, Killing Eve, similar picks to the other two, and great picks at that. So anyway, so those are some popular ones. I tried to find some from Variety, but it seems as though a lot of these outlets kind of have, you know, their best critics, I guess, and the best critics kind of put forward a list. And so then it's not really Variety's list, it's just this guy's list or this woman's list. And so I just kind of strayed away from that. But anyways, these are some of the biggest ones that I found, and definitely some similarities in there. Like I said, we see The Americans, we see Killing Eve. Better Call Saul was big among a bunch of the other outlets as well, you know, within their top 10 lists. Not necessarily top 3, but definitely within that list there. So anyways, here we go. Here are my picks for best TV shows of 2018. And, of course, these are only shows that I've seen. So I have not seen, for example, Killing Eve. I have not seen The Americans. I did not see this season of Atlanta. I did not see America to me. You know, I've heard about it a couple times, but nothing big from that one. The Good Place I've seen a little bit, but not this season. And Pose, I still haven't checked out Pose. And that is, I mean, I have like 6 shows that I want to get caught up on, and Pose is like number 2, I believe, on that list. It's just something I really want to see after all of this attention and buzz that it's gotten. So, keep in mind that I have not seen those shows from this year yet, and so that, obviously, I will not be picking those for best TV shows because it's only ones I've seen. So, here we go. In no particular order, here are my best TV shows of 2018, and of course, this includes a limited series and dramas, just normal runtime shows, because I think it was only fair to put them in the same category, just because, if you think about it, right, a normal drama only has the 1 season, so does a limited series. So, you know, just comparing off of a year runtime of a show, I think it's fair to compare. So here we go. Number 1, no particular order, but my first show on this list is The Terror on AMC. Came out in March of this year, and it was very underrated at the time. I think a lot of people, especially in the summertime, I saw a bunch of people posting, like, you gotta check out The Terror, you know, have you seen it, on Twitter and a bunch of stuff there, on Reddit and all that stuff. Everyone's talking about The Terror now, but when it first came out and I was doing reviews on the channel, I knew I was, like, one of the only people reviewing this show on YouTube and giving reviews and my thoughts on it, and now it's kind of blown up a little bit, and a lot of people are checking it out. And what a great show this was. It was a limited series, but now they've picked it up for a season 2. But the season 2 is going to be totally different. Whole new cast, whole new storyline. So it is an anthology series, but season 1, I mean, amazing stuff. 10 episodes. The finale episode is probably, I mean, I would honestly go this far to say it's probably maybe the best finale episode since Breaking Bad series finale, for me. I mean, and I've seen a lot of finales since then, and I'm gonna say it, the Terror finale episode was one of the best ones, tied up all the loose ends, gave us so much stuff in that finale, and I believe it was a bit extended as well. Wow, I mean, what a great episode, and the whole way through, the acting was impeccable, really great acting, and just the whole story is so intriguing, and of course, the aspect that they add to it, the horror and the kind of mystical aspect, just makes it even better, and even more interesting and captivating. So, The Terror Season 1, definitely up there, my best TV shows of 2018, and this one was unexpected. I thought I would just check it out, you know, okay, right, it looked okay, it looked kind of interesting about the Northwest Passage and the sailors, right, who went to find Northwest Passage and never came home, of course, and looked interesting, but after about 2 or 3, no, it was after the 3rd episode, because something huge happens in the 3rd episode, I knew that this show was worth watching the whole way through, and I knew at that point that it was going to be one of the best shows of 2018, honestly. Really great stuff. So, now on to my next show, which is Succession. I mean, Succession, talk about surprises. This was a surprise. I mean, you have names like Will Ferrell and Adam McKay involved. You have Jesse Armstrong, the showrunner, involved. You have guys like Jeremy Strong. Love him from The Big Short. He was great in that. Not a huge role, but I loved him in The Big Short. You have guys like Nicholas Braun, Thomas McFadden. I'm trying to think of... and Brian Cox, yeah. And so, you have some good cast members, right, going into this show. You have good names attached, like Adam McKay, Will Ferrell, Jesse Armstrong. It was still such a surprise. And literally every episode of Succession, I was like, okay, this is the best episode. Oh, no, wait, no, this is the best episode. And they just kept topping each episode each single week. I mean, this was an amazing show here in the summertime, and I think I did my review on the review channel, and I said for the series premiere, and I was a bit skeptical. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't love the premiere. I thought it was kind of all over the place, and they didn't quite feel out which way they wanted to go. And I honestly still believe that episode 1 was maybe the worst episode of the season, and it literally got better every single episode after that. And then up to the finale, which I thought was the best episode of the season. So let me tell you, I'm looking forward to season 2. And Nicholas Braun and Thomas McFadden is probably the best duo of actors this season in television. Or sorry, this year in television. I mean, just seeing both of them on screen, I was already, grinning. I was just waiting to, just explode in laughter every time they were on the screen. So this one is a drama, but it is funny. It is very funny at times, but very serious at other times too. So, and I didn't even mention Kieran Culkin, which he is amazing. He was nominated for a Golden Globe, actually, for supporting actor. I'm not sure if he'll get that at the Emmys, but... or no, I don't think he got it at the Emmys, but he was great as well. Really great in that supporting cast. So, Succession, definitely up there. And if you haven't checked it out, I really suggest it. Season 2, I'm so hyped for that. Let me tell you, I can't wait, right? Especially after that finale, too, because big stuff happened in the finale, and if you watch, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Next up is my number 1. I have to say, I'm saying these in no particular order, but my number 1 for the year, Better Call Saul Season 4. And you know what? I mean, again, like I said, I haven't seen some of the other big shows that people are talking about a lot, but I think an objective list ultimately has to have Better Call Saul at least in their top 3, and if not, I believe number 1. This is the best show on television. And again, I know I'm speaking because speaking from a point where I haven't seen these other big shows, but I just don't see how a show could be better than Better Call Saul Season 4. This season, best season of Better Call Saul so far, I think. Season 3 was close, but I think Season 4 is better. I mean... just the way they went, the direction in this season, the characters that came in were starting to get closer and closer to Breaking Bad. The finale for this season was insane. The final scene was insane. Bob Odenkirk and Rhea Seehorn, amazing job. They are what fuels the show, and they do amazing. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know how you put a show over Better Call Saul in this year. I think it's the best TV show on, best show on television. I think ever since probably season 2. I think season 1 was actually a little bit cloudy. I did enjoy it, don't get me wrong, but I think they didn't quite know the exact direction that they wanted to take, and they kind of jumped into it a little bit too fast. But I think ever since season 2 of Better Call Saul, Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould are back to having the best TV show, out there. I really do, because, Better Call Saul Season 4 was amazing, and like I said, it is my number 1 TV show of the year. It was simply incredible, the stuff that they do. So, and Vince Gilligan wasn't even involved that much. It was basically Peter Gould's show this season, and he did a really great job. So, yeah. Next one here is Westworld Season 2. Westworld Season 1, I didn't even watch live, but of course I heard all the buzz and all the attention about it. Everyone's talking about it. And so actually about a month before Season 2, I, binged through Season 1 of Westworld, and that was a journey. I mean, that Westworld Season 1 is amazing, especially the ending of it. you just have no idea what the hell is happening. And then you get some out of left field that makes really no sense, but then you got to think about it for a few days, and then it makes sense. Anyways, Westworld, they do a great job. Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy, great showrunners of Westworld. And season 2, honestly, I don't know, it might be better than season 1, and that's saying something, right? I mean, amazing performances in this show. I mean, I think this show, Better Call Saul is maybe the best show on television, but this show has the best cast, the best acting of any show. I mean, Sandy Newton, Evan Rachel Wood, Jeffrey Wright, Ed Harris, James Marsden. You can go on and on. The acting in this is Peter Mullen had a great kind of guest performance here in season 2 as well. Amazing. I mean, the cast is amazing. The show is amazing. The whole narrative and the storyline this season was really, really well done. A lot of people said, though, that Westworld, I talked about this last episode, some people are saying it's the most disappointing show of 2018, though, coming off of season 1. I wouldn't agree with that. I think season 2 was still very good, perhaps even better than season 1, but it did get a little bit repetitive. I would agree with that. At some point there, I would say about episode 7 or 8, it did get a little bit repetitive. And maybe even in like an episode, 4, which I believe, or was it episode 3, Virtue e Fortuna, which was maybe, to me, the best episode of the season. Maybe Akane no Mai was also up there, but really great episodes. But I just feel like towards the end, it did get a little repetitive with the same kind of storyline and theme pushing throughout. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I think it was a great season of television. And like I said, the acting and, the quality is just unmatched. I mean, maybe Game of Thrones tops it, but the quality here of Westworld is just unmatched. It's incredible. So next up, we have Sharp Objects limited series on HBO that ran this year. Amy Adams, Patricia Clarkson, absolutely stole the show. And Amy Adams, I have no doubt that she'll win an Emmy for her performance. She probably gave definitely the best performance by an actress in a limited series this year, but maybe the best performance by an actress in general. Amazing job. So anyways, guiding by her, of course, Sharp Objects, based on, I believe it was the book, right by Gillian Flynn. I think it's Gillian Flynn. And, the Gone Girl author, really great story, really captivating, and just an amazing, limited series run here with the 8 episodes, and of course, quite a big twist towards the end of the series. It was great. I did kind of, find similarities to The Sinner, and I love The Sinner season 1, so, you know what, I mean, I really did enjoy Sharp Objects, and, it is something, and Jean-Marc Vallée was behind it, who's also Big Little Lies director as well, and he directed all episodes. He is amazing. So, Sharp Objects, if you haven't seen it, definitely suggest it. 8 episodes. Definitely, it has to be up there in the best TV shows 2018. I think it has to be. Next, we have Escape at Dannemora, which is actually going on right now. We have 2 more episodes to go, and that tells you something, because it's not even over, and I'm already including it in my best TV shows of the year. This show is incredible. I mean, it's on Showtime, a 7-episode runtime here, mini-series, limited series type of thing, depicting based on the true story of the prison escape in 2015 in New York, with, I guess, Richard Madden and David Sweat, wow, I mean, Benicio del Toro, Patricia Arquette, Paul Dano, amazing job by this cast, and the other cast as well. Don't get me wrong, I just don't remember their names, but they do an amazing job as well. Benicio del Toro and Patricia Arquette in particular, I mean, or even just Patricia Arquette, amazing job. I believe they both deserve Emmys for their performance, and I think they might get those next year. I mean, wow. Escape at Dannemora is so good. Just this recent episode, it's kind of the same as Succession. I mean, every episode has been the best episode so far. And this last episode, episode 5, may actually have been the best one by a bit. I won't give anything away if you're going to watch it, but it is amazing stuff. And this one was kind of unexpected. Didn't get a lot of buzz, didn't get a lot of attention. I checked out, I'm like, I'm kind of leery about this one. I don't know. But I'm so glad I did check it out, and it is really great. So I do suggest it. Lastly, then, for my best TV show 2018, I'm going to put Castle Rock on here. You know, I would say, if anything, this would be the show to kind of get knocked off this list if I had to, you know, let's say put together a top 6. This would be the 7th. That kind of falls out. But I did want to include it because I really did enjoy it. Andre Holland, Bill Skarsgård, Sissy Spacek, I feel like I'm mispronouncing her name, and Melanie Linsky. Amazing cast performance. Andre Holland, really great. Bill Skarsgård in particular. I think he deserves an Emmy. I don't think he'll get it. But anyways, or maybe he already missed it. I'm not exactly sure. But the timelines for the Emmys are always kind of confusing to me. I believe it's like June 1st to May 31st or something like that. And I think this one was later. Yeah, so I think he still could get it next year. But anyways, great cast performances in this, and a really great story here based on Stephen King. If you're a Stephen King fan, you gotta watch Castle Rock. It's a must-see show, and, you know, it doesn't compare to a Better Call Saul or a Westworld. Not really, right? But the story is just so intriguing. The horror, if you're a horror fan, it's definitely there. Just really great stuff in the show, and I really feel like Hulu put a lot into it, and it really showed. The quality was definitely there for Hulu. This and Handmaid's Tale, Hulu has done a really good job in kind of knowing how much to put into it, and it really did pay off. So Castle Rock in there, kind of slips in there, but it is in there for my list of the top TV shows of 2018. All right. So that is that. Sorry that I went on a little bit about that one, but, you know, love all of those shows, honestly, and I suggest all of those. I mean, if you haven't watched those yet this year, you know, one, you're missing out, but 2, you really should watch them. I think they're all worth it. Of course, Better Call Saul, you would need to be, you know, caught up for season 4, but all those other ones, I mean, and that's another thing we got to talk about. Sorry, I wanted to move on, but just quickly, another thing to talk about. The Terror, Succession, Sharp Objects, Escape of Dannemora, and Castle Rock. 5 of those 7 that I just named were new shows this year. That is something that maybe I may even talk about in next episode or another episode to go here in Let's Talk Television. But the amount of new shows and great new shows that we got this year was something that I feel is unmatched in previous years. 2017, we certainly, at least me personally, I did not see this. This many new shows coming that I enjoyed and were actually some of the greatest shows of the year. And 2018 is amazing. And you know what? I think this is going to be a trend. I think 2019 will even top this year with new series. And we're just going to keep going because of the world of television right now and how big it's getting. And these, you know, streaming services, these studios putting so much money now into television. We're going to get some really great shows coming in the near future. And I think 2018 is a great start to this trend. But yeah, 5 of the 7 shows that I just picked as my best shows 2018 are new shows, and that's amazing to see. And you know what? I mean, quite a lot of these are surprises. Other than Westworld and Better Call Saul, you know, that are returning, all these new ones were pretty surprising to me. I didn't know that they'd be this good, and they were. So, you know, that's another thing too to learn from this, I guess, is go into shows with an open mind. Because I think it'll really help you out, and especially cast. Cast plays a big part in TV shows as well, and if you kind of see a good cast, I think it's always worth checking out. So, anyways, guys, that'll just about do it for the best TV shows of 2018. All right, so let's get down to our first topic of news here, and that is Chilling Adventures of Sabrina renewed for parts 3 and 4 at Netflix. So this article here is from TV Line, and this is some big news for fans of the show. And I think pretty obvious news here. Not too much of a surprise, you know, given the success of Chilling Adventures Sabrina season 1, or at least the first half of it. A lot of fans really, you know, getting on to this show, and Netflix, of course, very happy with its performance. So here we go. Netflix has conjured up some excellent news for Chilling Adventures of Sabrina fans. The drama series has been renewed for season 2, which also means parts 3 and 4, right? And TV Line has learned. The streaming giant has ordered 16 more episodes of Sabrina, which will release in 2 batches, thus part 3 and 4. Production on the new installments will kick off in 2019. So this is a quote from, who is it here? Roberto Aguirre Sacasa, I think. Probably mispronouncing that. Anyway, so, quote, "Praise Satan. I'm so grateful to my partners at Warner Brothers, Netflix, Berlanti Television, and Archie Productions for supporting this darker vision of the world's most famous teen witch," series creator said. "And I'm thrilled to be continuing to tell Sabrina's chilling adventures with our incredible cast and crew, led by the unstoppable Kiernan Shipka, I believe is her name. And I have heard some great things about her as an actress. Really, really great stuff of her guiding a show at her age. Really amazing." So, part 1 of Sabrina, as well as the Midwinter's Tale holiday special, I haven't heard of that, are currently available to stream on Netflix. As previously reported, the 9-episode part 2 of season 1, which will drop on Friday, April 5th of 2019. So, just some interesting stuff here. Again, not too surprising because of the success of the show so far, that they would do this. Kind of an interesting thing. Not a lot of Netflix original shows have parts to them. Usually it's just 10 episodes a season. That's it. But for this show, they're doing parts. So they're doing, 2 parts for each season and splitting them up. So that's interesting. So it looks like we'll get an 8 episode part 3 and then an 8 episode part 4 in the later part of 2019. So some really great stuff here. And so the second part of season 1 will air on April 5th of 2019. So about 4 months from now, we'll get to see that on Netflix. So again, yeah, not a huge surprise, but definitely good for fans here. And yeah, so season 2, I'm sure we'll see it in the fall of 2019, and then maybe they'll do the same thing like this and do a second part in April or March of 2020 even, and they'll kind of spread things out here. That'll also give them a chance to do more episodes even, right, because they're doing 2 parts, so they'll be doing even more episodes a season, which is also great for binging, which Netflix is, that's basically the purpose of Netflix, is to binge shows, and that's something great for them. So yeah, really great stuff here from Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. If you've seen the show or you've seen the first part of season 1, let me know. Love to hear your thoughts on this one. Heard really great things about it. So yeah, really awesome stuff. Alright, so now let's move on to the next one, and this one has to do with the Terror. I was already talking about it a little bit before, and so this one is George Takei and others join cast for the Terror Season 2. So this one is from Deadline Hollywood, and a great article here on Deadline. Goes a little bit more into depth here, but, definitely, I'm not going to include everything in the article, kind of the main stuff. So, really great stuff here. So here we go. Star Trek original George Takei, I believe that's how you say his name. I probably mispronouncing it, but is set for a series regular role in season 2 of The Terror, Ridley Scott's anthology drama for AMC, and he will also serve as a consultant. Set during World War II, the second season follows a series of bizarre deaths that haunt a Japanese-American community and a young man's journey to understand and combat the malevolent entity responsible for these deaths. Kiki Sukezone, Sukezone, I think, and Lost in Space, Kiki is from there. Miki Ishiwakawa is from 911, really great one there, Ryan Murphy on Fox there. Shingo Usami is from Unbroken, and Naoko Mori from Everest have also joined for the sophomore run, which premieres in 2019. It should be around March time, because that's when season 1 came out, so probably around March or April there in 2019. But I'm not sure. It could be later even this year, because they've had to do, obviously, a whole new story and all new cast and all that stuff. So it might be even later. Might be in the summer. It's possible, right? So Takei was imprisoned as a child, the real actor, in Japanese-American internment camps after the outbreak of World War II. His personal experience and knowledge of this ugly chapter in U.S. history led him to become a leading figure an activist for social justice. As a consultant, Takei will work closely with executive producers to ensure the accuracy of historical events and storytelling. On The Terror, he'll play Yamato Sun, a former fishing captain and community elder. Production on Season 2 begins next month in Vancouver, with Joseph Kubota Wladika directing the first 2 episodes. Really great news about that, by the way. I already talked about that maybe a few weeks ago on Let's Talk Television, earlier, reporting on that, and really great stuff that they got him to come on and direct the first 2 episodes. He might be directing the last 2 as well, but I don't think that's been confirmed yet. But anyways, so really great stuff here. Really great to hear that they have George Takei not only as an actor, as a star, but also as a consultant, which is very interesting here. I believe they had a bunch of consultants for season 1 with all the stuff that was in that. Of course, a lot of history stuff depicting that. And especially for this season, they want to get it right with the type of theme that they're tackling here. And I think it's great to have George Takei on there as a consultant for them. It's going to be interesting though, because he's not a director, right? But he is kind of in it. It's kind of like an actor being a director, directing himself. He's kind of consulting on his own story that he's going to be in, which is going to be interesting. But yeah, really great stuff here to hear that he's going to be consulting. And I honestly, I've seen him, like right when I saw the picture of him on the article, I recognized him, but I didn't know that he was actually involved in this activism and all that stuff. So yeah, really great that the Terror brings him on, and some other great cast announcements here. Of course, the majority of the cast, I assume, because you'll have, again, we're not totally sure of all the details of the story and if it will only be in this Japanese internment camp, but I would assume that you have to have some Americans in there. And I'm not sure also how they will be doing, I'm not sure how they'll be doing, because in the Terror, they had different languages in that, with the Inuits peoples, or the Aboriginal peoples living there, and they had subtitles and stuff. So I'm not sure if that's something that they would do in here, with the inside the Japanese camp. But yeah, I would assume you have to have some Americans in there. But again, I'm not sure. So yeah, again, more details will probably come out and we'll learn more about this. But this cast, at least, is all, Asian actors and actresses so far. And I did hear about one other casting, and I'm not sure. I think that was an Asian actor or actress as well. I believe it was Asian actor. So, yeah, just kind of interesting stuff here to see what this cast, will bring. And it looks like some really great ones here. Lost in Space, 911, Unbroken. Great shows there, so they already got a good reputation built. So, really looking forward to the Terror Season 2. I just named it as my best TV show 2018, Season 1, so I'm looking forward to Season 2. Of course, totally different story, totally different cast, but I do have some faith. I know his last name is Wu, is the showrunner, but I can't remember what the, what his first name is, but anyways, he is great, and he'll be coming back for this season 2, obviously, so that's great. So, anyways, really look forward to the Terror Season 2, and great to hear some casting announcements and some more news about this. Interesting, though, that the production will only begin next month. So maybe that means that it won't be in March. Maybe it is going to be closer to summer, because if they're only starting in January, it's going to be kind of tough to get it done by March. So this might actually be a little bit later on in the year, but nevertheless, I'm looking forward to it. All right, so I'll just about do it for that one. Talking about the Terror Season 2 and casting. And if you see it Season 1, let me know if you're interested in the Terror Season 2. Obviously, you could watch Season 2 if you hadn't watched Season 1. It is an anthology, right? So you'd be able to, but I really suggest you watch Season 1 too. So anyways, on to the next topic now. And this one is Billions, Season 4 premiere date. And so this one is from TV Line. Great article here. And so along with this announcement of the premiere date also came a teaser video. And so I'll get to that in just a second. So first, battle lines are drawn anew when Showtime's Billions returns for its fourth season on returns for its fourth season on Sunday, March 17th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Showtime. After all, as Damian Lewis's Bobby Axelrod proclaims in the show's new teaser video, we now live in a universe split down the middle. You gotta pick sides. And that's the name of the teaser as well. But what fresh hell awaits our favorite and least favorite characters in 2019? Perhaps the official synopsis for Season 4 can offer up some clues. So here is the synopsis. When everyone is out for revenge, no one is safe. This is never more true than in Season 4 of Billions. Bobby Axelrod and Chuck Rhodes, former enemies, and Wendy Rhodes, the chief counselor to each, have come together to form an uneasy but highly effective alliance aimed at the eradication of all their rivals, including Grigor Andeloff, who's played by John Malkovich, Taylor Mason, played by Asia Kate Dillon. Brian Connerty, played by Toby Leonard Moore. He's great. I like him in all the other things that he's been in too. And so I just love his character in Billions. And Season 3, his character definitely took a turn. And then also Waylon Jack Jeffcoat, who's played by Clancy Brown. Ambition and betrayal have long been at the heart of Billions. And this season, all the characters find out exactly how high a price they'll have to pay to satisfy those needs. And so that is the synopsis. Really great stuff for the synopsis here. Kind of broad, but I'm so looking forward to Season 4 with this alliance between Bobby Axelrod and Chuck Rhodes. It's going to be awesome stuff. And like I said, seeing, Brian Connerty's character, Asian Kate Dillon, great job in Season 3. Taylor has really became actually a big character in Billions, and now really great to see Taylor becoming that character. And in Season 4, definitely gonna have a big role. So really great stuff here for Season 4. Premiere date in March. I believe it's typical return date for Billions. Nothing new here, but really great stuff here. Season 4 premiere date of Billions, March 17th. Sunday night. So, really great. Looking forward to Season 4. Of course, David Cosmo, Jeffrey DeMunn, some of my favorite actors in this show as well. And they have some great roles too. Chuck's dad, of course. What is David Cosmo's character name? Isn't it, it's Wix or something like that. How am I forgetting this one? But anyways, he is great. Wax or no, now this is going to bother me. Damn. Anyways, kind of Bobby's, used to be kind of right-hand guy. But then, of course, Taylor came in. So, And Taylor's kind of become, his right-hand, person there. So anyways, there you go. So Billions Season 4 coming back in March, on March 17th on Showtime. So, really great stuff here for Billions fans. All right, so, and also check out the teaser as well if you haven't already. It's about 30 seconds long, and it's really great as well, as they talk about in this article. All right, on to the last piece of news here, and this one is about Z Nation. So, this one, Z Nation canceled after 5 seasons on Syfy. This article is provided by BloodyDisgusting.com. Really great place for all things horror. Walking Dead, they do a great job on. Z Nation as well. And a really great article here for the cancellation. So here we go. 1 week before the Season 5 finale of Z Nation, we learned tonight, Syfy has canceled the zombie series. In other words, the Season 5 finale will now be the series finale. Asylum CEO and series executive producer David Michael Latt announced in a Twitter video tonight, "We were not renewed for a Season 6. We're stopping at Season 5. We're very sad. We're also really grateful for the opportunities that we had. This is not the end of anything. This is just the beginning of a lot of things. We had a great time. We had a great time with Syfy." So, really great stuff, right? So, the final episode, The End of Everything, airs Friday night, December 28th. And then starting in spring 2019, it's worth noting that a new Netflix series, Black Summer, hails from Z Nation co-creator and executive producer Carl Schaefer and the sci-fi zombie apocalypse drama's co-executive producer John Hyams. So, interesting stuff here, right? So we kind of have the close of one chapter and the opening of another here with Black Summer on Netflix. So the initial reaction here is actually a lot of people kind of upset about this one. This is just coming in like a couple hours before I started the show here with this cancellation. So this is pretty big news right now. a lot of reaction coming out from Z Nation fans. Some people are like, oh, season 4 and season 5 are so ridiculous. I'm just ready for this show to be canceled. And some people are saying also that Syfy doesn't usually give a huge long runtime to a lot of shows, so this was kind of expected in the next couple of years. But a lot of people are really upset about this and really would like to see Z Nation continue. And it's interesting too, because this is perhaps Syfy's maybe biggest show on right now in Z Nation, and they cancel it after 5 seasons, after they still have been getting viewership. I mean, it's not like they've been, you know, skimming the bottom here with viewers. I mean, they still get the ratings, so not as high as, of course, before, but still. So just interesting stuff here. Like I said, a lot of people seem to be very upset about this one. Again, I'm not caught up with Z Nation. I've always heard about it, though, with all the comparisons to The Walking Dead. You know, 2 zombie apocalypse shows on at once. You're bound to hear about the other one if you're watching one. And that's kind of what's happened with me with Z Nation. But I did want to kind of check it out eventually. It just seemed kind of like a, you know, fun kind of slapstick zombie show, while The Walking Dead is a little bit more serious and dramatic in tone. But yeah, I love the Walking Dead aspect of zombies and apocalypse stuff, so I bet I would love Z Nation. But anyways, if you're a Z Nation fan, let me know what you think of this news. Are you upset about this one? Did you expect it? Was it a surprise for you? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this, because again, I'm not caught up with it, and I'm not a huge fan of it, so my reaction probably isn't the same as what your guys would be. But yeah, just a little bit surprising to me, at least, just from the offset here, because of it being maybe the biggest show on Syfy, and them canceling it. So kind of interesting stuff here, but at least we now still have the final episode to air on December 28th, and that will be a must-watch for Z Nation fans of the series, which will also be the series finale. So something is unfortunate, though, is that now it will be the series finale, right? And originally, the creators did not plan for it to be the series finale. So I really hope, for the sake of Z Nation fans, that there isn't some type of cliffhanger or something like that, that's kind of irreversible right now. And now the show is just going to end up with an open ending, which kind of sucks for fans. Some people like that, but the majority of people feel the same, that that should not happen, right? Like that's not great for the show. But you know, we'll see. We'll have to see what it is, and you know, we'll have to see what they put forward for that. But anyways, guys, let me know what you thought of the cancellation of Z Nation. Again, this news came out just a couple hours ago, so obviously quite a lot of reactions still coming out from it, and I'm sure we'll learn more. Syfy, I don't think, has issued a statement, but how this all broke is that the creator actually made this Twitter video saying that they've been canceled. So yeah, gonna be interested to hear from Syfy and hear what they have to say about this one as well. Alright, so now let's move on to the weekly notables of the you know, week here for me, and then we'll end off the episode. So I appreciate you guys you know, tuning in now live as well. So alright, so the weekly notables for this week in television, of course, as always, this is only based on shows that I saw this week, and to be honest, for the last 3 weeks, I've only been watching one show every week, and that's Escape of Dannemora. I already talked about it earlier, so it doesn't really need an introduction, but amazing stuff. So I'd love to watch more episodes. I can't find another show that I feel the same way about as Escape of Dannemora right now that I really want to see every week. Plus, I got tons of shows to get caught up on still from even the summer and the fall. So right now, I'm just kind of in a tough place with new shows. But anyways, so my notable episode from this week is Escape of Dannemora, Episode 5, Part 5. I think it's the best episode so far. I've been saying that every week, but I believe this one is. The first 9 minutes, or the first 7 minutes of this episode, are some of the best television I've watched the whole year, and some of the best directed television that I've seen the whole year by Ben Stiller. Really great stuff here with Episode 5, and of course, I don't want to spoil too much, but based on a true story, the prison break stuff comes definitely into play in this episode, and it is awesome. So there you go. My notable performance, I'm going to give it to Benicio del Toro for this episode. He was awesome. Paul Dano was also good, but he was awesome, and Patricia Arquette, really great job as well. But I thought Benicio del Toro definitely stood out with his role in this one. Really great stuff. So if you're not watching Escape Dannemora, this is my last time to suggest to you guys, watch this show on Showtime, miniseries / limited series. 7 episodes, so I believe 2 more episodes to go, 2 more weeks, and then it will be done in 2018. So coming up tomorrow, actually, tomorrow night at 10 p.m. on Showtime is Escape Dannemora Part 6. So anyways, guys, that'll just about do it for me for Let's Talk Television Episode 2. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to this episode. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on the best TV shows 2018. I really would. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and hear a list that you want to put together, or just like me, no particular order. You just want to give me some of them. I'd love to discuss that with you guys. So again, if you're watching afterwards, you can leave a question now, and I definitely will get back to you next episode and take some time to answer that for sure. So anyways, guys, yeah, that'll just about do it for the episode here this week. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I believe there's 2 more episodes of Let's Television still for 2018, so I'm thinking I maybe doing a best episodes of the year thing next week, but we'll have to see. It all depends on what news I have too, so, yeah, we'll see. But anyways, guys, please tune in next week, about the same time here, Saturday afternoon, on the channel as well. So, again, thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next week for Let's Talk Television, and yeah, thanks, guys, for tuning in. See you next time.